and built the foundation for his people to live out. And with every day he built, he looked at the end product and said, "It was good." The seventh day he rested from the work he had built and blessed it and made it holy because it was good. But a turnover events took place, turning the blessed into a desolate, barren land. The land which was once flowing with milk and honey became futile because its people were deceived by what the world had to offer. Losing sense of purpose, its people continued to build their life around worthless things, things that would corrupt the soul in which he died for. Five things that are keeping the world in captivity. Number 5. We start off with idolatry, the worship of someone or something other than God, as though it were God. We put religion on a pedestal, making it seem that if we are considered churchgoers, we'd be set for eternity. Putting a facade that if we were to follow the Bible as a rule book, we'd be set free. We fill the heart with what we consider would make it whole, only to find out it would be a cycle of being void. Number 4, the root of all evil, pride, the beginning of sin. People become so caught up in this sense of superiority. It was like the Pharisee that looked down on the taxman who thought so highly of his ability, becoming encapsulated in his own ego only to make himself known, but only to realize that the exalted would be humbled and the humble would be exalted. No boasting could ever be one's reward. Number 3, we talk about greed, the lust of the eyes, the desire to want to have the things that we see. Worldly riches such as money, power, and fame, or covetousness, an insatiable desire of worldly gain. Concerned only with the things we need to individually achieve, we become too focused on our own personal needs that we forget that our brother may also be in need. Number 2, hatred. This intense feeling of ill will or the sort of resentment. It normally stems from this root of insecurity, then leading to hypocrisy. Claiming to love a brother, to stay in the light, but deep down, we only want to fight. We find it easier to hate than to forgive. Our hearts become too numb to believe that we could actually be recipients of some sort of authentic love. Number 1, lust of the flesh. Wanting to satisfy our body's desires at the cost of morality. We become too comfortable in sin, abusing His grace because it was free. Free? Isn't that hard to believe? That though He died for the world, we fell into the trap of the devil's schemes, finding pleasure in sexual immorality. We turned over to the consumption of poison to stop us from experiencing reality. But don't you see? This isn't how it's supposed to be. The corruption of the world made its way into the church. We instilled our hearts with values and morals of this world. What seemed right to man, but disheartened the king. We had no right to bring the devil and his cohorts in. The walls that were a barrier against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms then came crashing down because of the enemy's rebellious plan. Everything became chaos, a whirling wind without seas. The church needed a way to the Savior since they got lost in their own mentality. Lord, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God who keeps His covenant of love to 1,000 generations, can you hear us from heaven? Can you hear us? You see, this trouble we are in, The church is in ruins. We have forgotten your heart for your people in the nation. But as we call on your name, can your heart find favor to take us out of this mess we are in? Can you once again be our foundation that you intended for us to build our lives within? Out into the distance, I see a stone in Zion, this tested stone, a precious cornerstone as a sure foundation, this rock that is needed for the rest to be set in stone. And this foundation would be the rock for our souls. He is an anchor, Jesus himself being the cornerstone. He laid down his life so the world could be restored. He thought about you and me when he died on the cross of Calvary. Through the shedding of his blood, he has set the world free. Free? Can you believe that Jesus, our King, came to save humanity? He has not forgotten about us. His heart has always been for us. We will no longer be disgraced. He has built us a haven as our saving grace. And he has called us to set foot to rebuild his church. And just as he called Abraham to go build a family, and called Moses to build a rule book, he called Asa to build a songbook, and Paul to build a big book. He called David to build an altar, and Solomon to build a temple. And one thing they had in common was their foundation being built on concrete, upon Jesus Christ, the Savior of all humanity. Church, now is the time to arise and build. We can no longer afford to stay discouraged about our faith and service to build his kingdom here on earth. Come, let us rebuild the wall of this sanctuary. Come, let us begin this good work. Church, arise and build.
You can